While some dismiss the disappearances as nothing more than coincidences or natural disasters, others continue to wonder if there might be something more sinister lurking in these waters. The Bermuda Triangle has claimed many lives, yet it continues to fascinate and puzzle the world. As we study history's records and listen to the stories of those who survived, the Bermuda Triangle stands as a chilling reminder that some mysteries refuse to be solved, hiding their secrets beneath the endless waves of the Atlantic. In the endless chasms of hell, where despair suffocates and fire blazes eternally, 7 demons reign supreme. These entities are not merely creatures of the infernal, they are embodiments of humanity's darkest impulses, each representing one of the 7 deadly sins. Their power stretches beyond the confines of hell, seeping into the mortal world, corrupting and tormenting. Each demon has a story, a fall, and a domain, their very essence intertwined with the nature of evil itself. Lucifer the morning star stands at the pinnacle of hell's hierarchy. Once the most radiant and beloved of angels, he shone brighter than any star in the heavens. His pride, however, became his undoing. Lucifer believed himself equal to the Creator, deserving of a throne higher than God's own. His rebellion against the divine order was met with swift and brutal punishment. Cast out of heaven, his descent was a cataclysmic event, his once beautiful wings torn and blackened as he fell. Where he landed, hell itself was forged, a kingdom built on rebellion, defiance, and torment. Lucifer's presence is awe-inspiring and terrifying. His form retains a trace of his former glory, glowing faintly with the remnants of celestial light. Yet it is twisted by his hatred and fall. His eyes burn with an eternal rage, reflecting his unyielding desire to usurp the heavens. He commands the legions of hell with an iron will, his voice carrying the weight of 1,000 storms. Leonidas himself fought alongside his men, inspiring them with his courage and strength. Stories tell of his unbreakable resolve, how he rallied his soldiers to fight with honor, knowing their actions could change the course of history. But on the 3rd day, disaster struck. A Greek traitor named Ephialtes betrayed his countrymen by revealing to Xerxes a secret path around Thermopylae. With this knowledge, Xerxes sent a detachment of his forces to flank the Greeks, who soon found themselves surrounded. When Leonidas learned of the betrayal, he ordered most of the Greek soldiers to retreat, choosing to remain with his 300 Spartans, as well as a few hundred volunteers from Thespiae and Thebes who refused to abandon their king. As dawn broke, Leonidas and his remaining warriors prepared for a final stand. Their resolve was unshakable, knowing that this battle would be their last. They fought with unmatched fury, each Spartan determined to take as many Persians as possible with him. The Greeks fought until their weapons shattered, then fought with their bare hands, refusing to surrender. Leonidas fell in battle, but his death ignited the fire of Greek resistance. Xerxes ordered that Leonidas's body be mutilated, hoping to demoralize the Greeks, yet it had the opposite effect. News of Leonidas's bravery spread like wildfire, inspiring the Greeks to unite and ultimately repel the Persian invasion. In 1970, Gurnon was flying a small plane from Andros Island in the Bahamas to Miami with his father and a friend. As they crossed the triangle, a strange cloud formation appeared in front of them. Gurnon described the cloud as a tunnel with an odd swirling motion. As he flew into it, he felt as though he was in a vortex, surrounded by a strange fog-like substance. His navigation instruments started to malfunction, and he felt disoriented, as if they were moving through time and space. When he finally emerged from the cloud, he was shocked to find that they had arrived in Miami almost an hour ahead of schedule, despite having flown for only a short time. To this day, Gurnon stands by his story, and it has fueled countless theories about time warps, magnetic anomalies, and other bizarre phenomena in the Bermuda Triangle. Theories about the Bermuda Triangle abound, each one more intriguing than the last. Some scientists believe the area could be home to unusual magnetic fields that interfere with navigational equipment, causing pilots and captains to lose their bearings. Others suggest that deep-sea methane hydrates could suddenly release gas, creating massive bubbles that disrupt buoyancy and cause ships to sink without a trace. There are even those who propose that the Bermuda Triangle could be home to time warps or portals, explaining how planes and ships seem to disappear and in rare cases reappear inexplicably. But despite the theories, the Bermuda Triangle remains an unsolved mystery.
I heard this story about a house that was completely infested with mimics. Now, it all started off with this family who lived in New York. And they had lived in this big home in a rural area. They, really for the longest time, like didn't have anything weird ever happen until one night the wife and husband are, in the living room and their kids are gone with a family friend. Well, the husband says, I'm going to, leave and I'll be back. I'm going to go to the store. Do you need anything? And his wife says, no, I'm good. I'll see you when you get back. So her husband goes out the front door, gets in his car, and drives off. Right after he pulls out of the driveway, like all of a sudden she hears a noise upstairs. And when she walks upstairs, she sees her husband come out of the closet and just start walking down the hallway. And she's like, honey, like, wait, how'd you get upstairs? Like, you came back home? And he's like, yeah, I'm going back to the car. I'll talk to you later. And so he just like goes downstairs and goes out the front door. So she calls her husband on the cell phone and was like, why'd you come back to the house? Like, that was kind of weird. What were you doing upstairs? And he goes, what are you talking about? Like, I'm far from home. Like, I've been driving for like a little while now. And she's like confused and she thinks like he's just playing a prank on her. So fast forward to the wife and their two kids are sitting on the couch. And the wife and one of the kids are sitting on the couch. And one of the daughters comes downstairs and they say, like, hey, what are you doing? You want to come watch a movie with us? And the daughter doesn't say anything. And they're like, hey, aren't you going to respond? Like, what's wrong? And like, the daughter still doesn't say anything. She just keeps walking past them. And she goes into another room. So the sister like follows and is like, says her name and is like, what are you doing? Well, all of a sudden, like the sister comes back down the stairs again because she said, I heard you guys calling my name. And they're like, wait, no, you just walked past us into that room. Like, how'd you get upstairs? And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, I've been upstairs in the bathroom. And once again, like they didn't know how, the wife didn't know what to think of this. So finally, like the last straw was one night, her husband and her two kids, they had left to go do something. And she's up in her bedroom. She hears like some rustling sound in her closet. And she's like, what is there like something in my closet? She opens the door and there's her husband, like, crouched down, holding his knees, like sitting in the closet, kind of like looking really weird, like has this strange look on her face. And she's like, what are you doing in the closet? I thought you were with our daughters. And like the man her husband just says, come in the closet with me. And she's like, what? And he's like, come in here, come in the closet. And she instantly like knew that wasn't her husband. And she ran out the door and calls up her husband and is like, get here right now. And shortly after that, they end up moving.